Do you actually have to be on cocaine to be on this podcast?
It's a great day to be a Wildcat!
Cocaine?
Durfing.
What's up, everybody? You are listening to yet another edition of Cocaine Willie. I am your commissioner, Bob Trollsby, and not currently joined by my co-host. This is just an introductory little snippet here. You are listening to part 2 of our offensive position group series, which includes position previews involving our running backs and wide receivers for the 2025 K-State football season. Before we get into the episode here, want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Auntie May's Parlor, located at 616 North 12th Street in the heart of Aggieville in Manhattan, Kansas. If you go to their website, www.auntiemays.com, you can see a full list of their upcoming events, but they have craft cocktails, draft beers, everything in between. It's my favorite bar. It's our collective favorite bar in Aggieville. So check them out on game days, pregame, postgame, during the game. If it's an away game, make sure that you can get out to Auntie May's. But yeah, for today's episode, we're going to be chatting through our assessment of the running back group as well as the wide receiver group. The next episode that we drop is going to be going through our tight ends and offensive line group. And then next week, we're going to drop either one episode, one video, one podcast on defensive position group previews, or if we end up going over like we did tonight, doing kind of the full preview, we'll probably break that up as well. But just wanted to give you a quick introduction. Shout out our sponsor. Shout out cocainewillie.com if you want to purchase some of our merchandise that we have available on cocainewillie.com at the Gear Garage there. But that's going to do it for me. I'm going to throw it over to me and Chef and Matt to go through the running backs and wide receiver groups. All right, running back. So obviously, the headliner here is Dylan Edwards returning to the team as a junior. I guess my first question, we've already talked high level about running back, but what percent of snaps will Dylan take in the backfield versus anywhere else? The slot, you name it.
Does this count? Okay, this is where from where the snap happens or where he lines up at pre-snap?
It's a good question.
I don't even know how to do this.
I would say my first thought was 85% are going to be lined up, next to Avery, behind Avery, or straddling like on his hip Avery. But then I thought about maybe we do a lot of two motion things or two running back things where we motion him. He's out at wide receiver. He motions into the backfield. Does that count? I don't know how that works. So I'm going to go 85% in the backfield.
Okay.
85%? That seems really high.
Of his snaps. It's not like,
that means 15% of the time he's lining up in the slot, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm an idiot with this. 75.
75. Okay.
3 out of every 4 plays.
85 for Chef, 75 for Matt. Okay, next question. Zach Zumwalt. Last year, Dylan Edwards had 7.75 touches per game, all inclusive. DJ had 18.83 touches per game. Over or under 17.5 touches per game for Dylan Edwards?
Under.
Over. Whoa. You really think under, huh?
Yeah. Oh, for sure under.
Okay.
I mean, he's nowhere near the physical ability of DJ Giddens. I mean, that's obvious. I think we want to give Joe Jackson more carries, more than I think we wanted to give Dylan at true running back. I think we have more offensive weapons at the wide receiver position that are healthier, that are more consistent. And Avery. I think Avery didn't get a lot of the snaps that in terms of being a playmaker with the ball in his hand that he, hopefully he gets this season. I think for a longer, healthier, more productive Dylan Edwards, you have to go under one less, touch than DJ Giddens had last season, who had one of the, he was a workhorse for us last season. There's no way he could go over that.
I would be interested to pull these numbers from when Deuce was starting and DJ was backing him up for the 2 years, because not saying there's similarity there, but you have a similarity in the type of running backs that you're anticipating being your starter and your backup. I would be interested to see what those numbers were, because I think
but those roles are reversed though, because DJ is a bigger back that demands more carries.
I understand. That's why I said when Deuce was starting, you could say Deuce and Dylan Edwards have some similarities as starters in the running back position. And
I see no similarities between, other than height, I see no similarities between Dylan's game and Deuce Vaughn's game. None.
Okay. Well, I think you're going to see Dylan Edwards get a lot of touches in this offense, because of the way that the offense, I think, is going to scheme with his speed and his elusiveness. I really see there being a lot of opportunities where he's going to get the ball, especially it's not just going to be straight runs either.
Right.
There's going to be screen plays. There's going to be sweeps. I'm not necessarily saying like they're not the same running back, but I think it would be an appropriate way of describing you have a smaller, a little bit quicker running back who's going to be your starter, and you have a bigger bodied, more power backup. I would be interested to know what the touch percentages would be in those 2 seasons, to kind of put together what would be an accurate, judgment. But I think he's going to get more than 18 touches a game.
Oh, more than 18? That's nuts.
He could get 11 touches, 11 carries, but I could easily see
that's 7
5,
receptions.
6.
There's
a lot of options.
That's so many receptions for a running back. It's insane. I mean, DJ Giddens and Deuce Vaughn were like some of our best receiving backs of all time, and I can't think of on the top of my head when they had more than 8 catches in a game.
Yeah, but I think the offense is going to be different this year as well. So I think it's hard to, we are comparing apples to oranges in that regard. So
Connor Riley's no longer your run game coordinator, so the game could look very different. My next question: what is the ratio of snaps for Dylan at running back versus the field? Meaning literally everybody else in the room. So counting Joe Jackson, JB Price.
Counting Avery?
Ooh, no, because we're saying at running back.
Oh, I say.
But you can answer it with total rushes though. I would allow that.
I would
let's
say
talk
that
total rushes.
I say Dylan gets. Okay, can you look up? I guess I have the internet at my disposal too. Let me stop being lazy. You go first, Matt. I just want to look up one thing.
I have no idea. These are hard. 80-20. I don't know.
What?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have anything to compare this to from, past seasons.
Yeah.
He takes 80% of
I'm almost thinking 60-40, like 60% Dylan, 40% the field, knowing that a lot of that's going to be Joe Jackson, but they're probably going to work in some of those younger guys too from time to time in case he's got to long history of doing that in working in those third, fourth string guys into some of those games. So I'm going to say 60-40, but I'm curious, Chef, what you're typing up there on the
I
old
would probably
computer.
go. I would just going back to our sports reference page last year, and looking at rushing and receiving, and where is it at? I lost it just for a second. Okay, DJ Giddens had 205 rushing, and I think that's rushing and receiving. No, that's rushing attempts. 205. Avery had 113. Dylan had 74. So was that close to like almost like it's like almost a quarter of the carries? I would say if you're counting Avery, it's less than 50. If it's without Avery, it's probably close to like, I think it's probably close to your number. I'd say about 55%, 60% that he gets the carries. But it's so close though, because we just don't know. Like Matt was saying, they're two different backs. I don't see there's a world where Dylan Edwards gets 200 carries. I just can't see that.
I don't know. Okay, so looking at the rest of the room, when you think about Joe Jackson, JB Price, Devon Rice, think about those guys, Antonio Martin, who's the leading rusher out of the field, if you will, out of the rest of that room beyond Dylan? And taking out Jackson too. Taking out Jackson too, because I think it's pretty well decided at this point that it's going to be Jackson and Edwards. But of those younger guys, who's going to be that next up and comer that you think is going to, maybe ascend themselves above the rest of that room?
I would have said Antonio Martin, but I haven't heard good things about my young thick lad. He hasn't sound promising in camp when he's actually been there. So I've heard good things about Montario Ellison, but he's a true freshman and he's small. Well, he's not small, but he's short. Not that matters, but I mean, just who do you want? What's the role of the third running back on the depth chart? I mean, it's really just like injury coming there, maybe block, maybe
we saw some Joe Jackson. We saw some Joe Jackson.
We did, but that was way later down the road and in garbage time. So I would say the leading rusher is going to be JB Price at 100, and I would say at 194 yards.
Okay.
I think Devon Rice is gonna get some time. I think he's going to get used in some different situations. The fact that we're hearing his name is a good sign for him of getting some time. The third running back is just North Dakota. You'll see the third running back, and I think that's probably going to be it outside of. If Antonio Martin kind of gets some things in gear, that's where I think you're going to see him in the red zone, in maybe very short yardage situations where you really need to gain, a yard or two. That's where you would see him. So, good luck to whoever's the third string running back. Good luck.
You laugh at this now, but think back to, what was it, the Arizona State game where Dylan Edwards got hurt? Was it Arizona State or Iowa State? Which one of those two games?
Arizona State, he pulled up on his hamstring pretty early.
So I don't know that you can rely on Joe Jackson to be a 3-4 down back for every single series. There's going to be a situation potentially, if there's an injury, where you have to rely on that third guy in the room. I think for me, it'd be my ideal situation is Devon Rice, because we heard so much about the guy when he was in high school, backing up, a 5-star running back or something at Bishop Gorman, and he's got a lot of natural talent. So I'm curious to see what he can do and see what we got in that guy. But it's an interesting room. I think there is a lot of talent in there, but God forbid we end up in that situation. It could be a pivotal role. You never know.
I think it would be more pivoting to an air raid offense. It comes down to that. I think I think you keep the ball in your best player's hand, and you go 5 wide, and you run a lot of stuff for Avery to run the ball. It would be kind of spooky to put the ball in the hands of a true freshman, 2 redshirt freshmen, a transfer that hasn't been very good at camp. Those are not very good odds to be the 3rd running back.
For sure. All right, we're moving on to wide receiver. A lot of people are drinking the Jaron Tibbs Kool-Aid. My question for the two of you, are you taking a shot of the Kool-Aid? Are you drinking a pint of the Kool-Aid in spirit of going to Ireland? Or are you swimming in the Kool-Aid with Jaron Tibbs?
It's
on 3, Matt.
A video on Instagram is not an indicator of future performance. Look,
yeah, but how many times did you see Dante Cephas do anything on Instagram?
I don't remember because he's been completely blocked out of my memory, as a lot of wide receivers that we have had that have probably had a video on spring or in practice of
Jace
making
got a lot of videos
catch
on Instagram. Jace got a lot.
I think some RJ Garcia here and there.
Man,
he was a television host, for God's sakes.
Look, a lot of people are saying really good things about him at practice, which is a great step. The key factor is going to be, what is his game going to be like as the number 2 guy, as a guy who is probably got a better quarterback this year than he has in the past. I just have a very hard time believing some of the things that we're hearing. I'm just being like completely honest, because this position group has been a real struggle for us for a long, long time. And I want to believe everything that we're hearing. Like, I really do. I hope he's a really, really stable second option for us. I think that's is that a good way to describe what we need for wide receivers? A number 2 and a number 3 option who are stable options that can make a play. I think that's a fair piece, or a fair thing. So I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid on this. I know a lot of people are, which is fine. I don't tell people how to fan, but I think it's also something when tempering expectations helps, especially early in the season. Teams are not at their A game in game 1. And when we go to Ireland, I'm not expecting that he's going to have 8 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. What I'm expecting is he a guy who can make contested catches? He can get himself open in situations where if Avery is needing to, Avery's on the run a little bit and you have to improvise, is Jerand Tibbs a guy who can also improvise on routes and finding a way to get open? Some of those pieces that I feel like our wide receiver group has not had, guys who can get separation, get open when we need to. So that is my 2 cents.
I'm lapping it up. I'm lapping it up like a little kitty in a bowl. Just I'm lapping it up. I'm lapping that Kool-Aid up. For me, okay, I was thinking of this in my head. We talked about like how we've been disappointed with receivers that have come in and transferred in, and they haven't done anything, really any receiver that we've ever had since Tyler Lockett. But really the transfers, those are the ones that get the most hype and get us all riled up. And the 2 most, I guess I can go 3. Cade Warner came in, and he was unheralded, and he actually proved to be something. He was a consistent guy. He wasn't going to get you, 80 yards per game, but he was going to get you that 30 on, 4 catches and move the chains. So he was an A+ in my book of what I was expecting out of him. And then you get to Cephas and Johnson. And it's funny because Cephas came from Penn State, where they were notorious for having, not very good passing offenses those seasons with, bad quarterbacks and whatever. But they transferred here. Then Johnson, even worse. He came from an even worse offense when it comes to passing and receivers. We were taking transfers from places that didn't have good wide receiver production. That's funny to me. But now we get these guys. Tibbs from Purdue, they're really stinky, but they were known for throwing the ball around at least. And then you get JB Bradley, who came from Texas Tech and BC, also known for throwing the ball around. So it's funny to me that I think the biggest, Kool-Aid that's ever been made is about receivers that actually have been known for catching passes in offenses that are known for throwing balls. So I think this is a different era of wide receiver transfer at K-State. So give me all the Kool-Aid that you can give me. Spike it if you want. I don't care. I'm drinking it up. Tibbs, he's a dog. He's a dog. Instagram proves that.
Yeah, that is true. He had Hudson Card throwing it to him last year too, so I'm not sure what that means. But who was there? They had, he had 1,600 yards passing last year, for whatever that's worth. Not great, but Jerand Tibbs had 305 of those yards, so good for him. Third wide receiver on the list total overall, and their leading wide receiver had fewer yards total last year than Jacques Brown did. So take that as you will for an offense that's known for throwing the ball, apparently. So just throwing that out there. Jacques Brown last year had only 5 touchdowns. He was the leading receiver, 4 touchdowns, not counting the tight ends, not counting Dylan Edwards, any of that. He was the leading wide receiver for total touchdown catches last year. Who is the leading receiver for touchdowns this year, and how many touchdowns do you believe they'll have? So there's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense.
I'm going to go Tibbs. I'm going to go Tibbs at 7.
What?
Tibbs at 7.
I'm going to go with Jacques Brown until proven otherwise, because I do think continuity is key. This is, the 3rd season these guys are working together. Jace has proven, to make big plays. I think he's going to be the guy wide receiver that, is going to have the most touchdowns. But apparently, Chef definitely loves a Kool-Aid. Oh my God. Look at this guy.
I'm in that mode, baby. I'm in that mode. Me and Matt are about to go at it. Let's go. Come on. Get me fired up, baby.
Jace.
Who will be the leading receiver in total yardage this year? Last year was Jacques Brown with 823 yards.
I'm going Jacques Brown, 998.
998. Wow.
998.
Do we have a 1,000-yard receiver, Chef?
No, he's the leading receiver at 998.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm an idiot.
Jace.
I'll go Jace as well.
1,000-yard, Matt? 1,000 yard?
No.
1,001.
1,001.
Let's go.
No.
It's not that hard, really. I mean, are we counting playoffs? Are we counting conference? Are we counting all that? Because if so,
yes.
Conference championship, home playoff game, we win, and then the bowl game and the Rose Bowl. Give me that.
It took Jace 5 games last year. It took him 4 full games, and in his 5th game, he got his first touchdown catch on the season. does he get his first catch in Ireland? If not, when does he get his first touchdown catch?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. He doesn't. He gets his first touchdown reception versus North Dakota.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think I already laid my score out there versus our Iowa State fellow. If you haven't listened to that pod, go ahead and listen to it. I think I had the score, 28-23. And I think Avery has 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 passing. 2 rushing, 2 passing. I think one is to Tibbs and one is to Ancio.
Okay. I would probably say North Dakota as well. But yeah, North Dakota.
I'll go Iowa State. Why not? I'll be the contrarian here. I'll go Jace gets his first touchdown against Iowa State. It won't take him 5 games to heat up. All right, next question from Zach Zumwalt. Jace has 17.03 yards per catch in his career on average.
Damn.
In Matt Wells' offense, he says his offense is known for having shorter passes. Will Jace average over or under 16 yards per catch this season?
Hold on, give me a second. Let me look it up.
Here we go. I will say under on this one because I do agree with Matt Wells's kind of offense and the shorter pass piece, and I think that that's going to play a huge role. So I think he'll average less than his career average. So over under 16. I'll say under on that. I don't even know what you're looking at.
Give me a second. Let me cook. I mean, he had 17.5 last year. I think he is still the more explosive receiver. Oh, man, and what was the number? 16, 15?
16.
I'm going to say he's over 16 at 16.6.
Okay. I'm going to go under. Why not? Okay, Zach Zumwalt, again, top 3 receivers for 2022. Will the top 3 receivers for this team meet or exceed what was done in 22 with Malik, Phillip Brooks, Cade Warner, with a total between the 3 of them being 1,768 yards? Will this year's top 3 meet or exceed 1,768 yards?
Yeah. Oh my God!
Great question. This is a great question.
It's a great question, but I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I think we're cooking.
Is it though? Because if you
count Dylan Edwards, count the tight ends.
I think there are going to be a lot of mouths that will be feeding in this offense, and it's not necessarily going to come from your top 3 wide receivers. I mean, I will say let's
pump the brakes on this because your argument is saying that we have more mouths to feed. We had a worse wide receiver unit then, in my opinion, than we do now. We had the greatest catcher of the football in Deuce Vaughn and the best tight end we've ever had in Kansas State history in Ben Sinnott. What are we talking about here? Of course we're going to have more.
Okay.
What do you mean? We have more mouths to feed, but they're not as good? What are we saying?
Well,
of course.
You would say, yeah, right now maybe they're not as good, but that may not be the case this season from an improvement perspective. Garrett Oakley could be very much at a Ben Sinnott type level. I don't know. I think there's going to be. I think we're going to end up seeing more situations than in 2022 where running back's going to be getting the ball more outside or with short screen passes that type of thing. Tight ends getting the ball more. I don't know. 1,800. So if you say Jace is
998.
998, so that's
You can't find me 900 yards.
768 yards that you're divvying between the other two.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. Let's be realistic here. Come on. Cade did what? What did Cade do? Cade put 456 that season, and he averaged 9 yards per attempt. I mean, per reception. Phillip Brooks was, he was catching a lot of jet sweeps. I think he was one of arguably the best route runners that we've seen, do his thing. He was really good, but he was limited in what he could do. I think we're talking about two actual giant receivers on the outside that have physical abilities that those two receivers did not have. So for me, I think it's quite obvious that you don't have a Ben Sinnott and you don't have a Deuce Vaughn on the team. You have two other receivers that I think are better than Cade Warner and freaking Phillip Brooks. Come on. I think it's easy. That's easy. With a better quarterback. We had Adrian Martinez who wouldn't throw a pass past 5 yards before Oklahoma. Come on. What are we talking about here? We've got Avery freaking Johnson. Get me hyped up, baby.
I'm going to go over, but I don't think it's going to be much. I don't think it's going to be much over. I think Cade Warner certainly outperformed what we all thought he would do, but Malik Knowles was solid, and Phillip Brooks was, he was there forever. He knew the system. I don't know. I'm going to go over, but not by much. Okay. Projected 5 deep at wide receiver. Last question on the receivers before we move on to tight ends and O-line. I'll kick it off. I'll go Jace Brown.
Oh, that was the question. It was straight into it. Oh, my bad. Yeah, go
Jace
ahead.
Brown?
I mean, I think we all can agree on the top 3, right? I don't even think we need to hash those two out.
Brown, Tibbs, Bradley.
Yeah.
Top 3. In that order. Do you have it in that order, Matt? Okay.
Tibbs, Bradley, yeah.
All right, 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Anybody throwing Sterling Lockett in there? I'm not. I've got Jacques Spradley-Demps because we've heard a little bit about him. Chat about. He's a younger guy, newer guy to the system. Sophomore or redshirt freshman, one of the two. And then Caleb Medford, the transfer from UNM, who had Devin Dampier throwing him the rock last year. It's my 5 deep.
I could see for sure Spradley-Demps. Spradley-Demps is a great answer, actually. That's a really good answer. I'm gonna go. No, damn, I don't want to do Sterling. I don't want to do Sterling. As much as I love Sterling Lockett too. I think he could do some things, but it's just where are we at?
5'10".
I gotta look up. I gotta look up the wide receivers at this point. I just got to see a name. Medford is cool. I just haven't seen much about him. I haven't seen the name thrown around that often.
No, and that's the one hesitation I have with it. But you're not hearing a ton of these other names talked about in this wide receiver room. Like, it's not like people are going out there talking about Garrett Harstad or Sammy Wheeler's brother.
Ben. Shout out to Ben Wheeler. Ooh, okay. Here we go. Now let me stick with me for a second.
What about Bryce Nornberg?
6'5".
6'5". All 6'5" of them.
They did fix that, by the way. He is no longer listed as 6'5". He's listed at 5'10".
Wasn't he getting some love? This
special
teamer. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Okay,
so was Ty Bowman, and he was out there.
Yeah,
he was. Sure. Okay, I'm gonna go Caleb Medford at 4, and now listen to me, Larry Porter.
Okay.
Is he the 4th? He's the 4th. Larry Porter, the 4th. The freshman. I mean, late signee. He looks crazy without a shirt on. He looks insane. I mean, absolutely insane. Give me Larry Porter, the 4th, as a sneaky true freshman to crack that 5, and he's catching passes. I mean, maybe Lincoln Cure can count, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh my God. I will go with Spradley-Demps and Caleb Medford.
Nailed it. That is going to do it for our running back and wide receiver group preview for this edition of Cocaine Willie. Again, shout out to our sponsor, Auntie May's Parlor. They're at 616 North 12th Street in the heart of Aggieville. Be sure to stop by. Tell them Cocaine Willie sent you. Order a John Daly. I don't know if they'll make it for you or not anymore, but maybe they will if you're nice to them. We are also the proud representative of Kansas State sports on the College Huddle. You can check them out at College Huddle or thecollegehuddle.com as a good place, one-stop shop for all of the different affiliates for the College Huddle. So again, go to thecollegehuddle.com or check out the social media at College Huddle. And you can follow us on social media individually. I'm at Bob Trollsby. Chef is at Chef Andre Napier, and Fireball Matt is at Matt Marchesini. Chef is not here. Wildcat Country, let's ride.